Good morning. I hope you slept well. Thursday. Hello, Thursday. What are we gonna do? Well, I just got off my 3-night overnight crochet-a-thon nights. And I thought I'd share with you what I worked on. The bulk of the time, I worked on a pattern from the 1930s. I'm deciphering the old world wordage in crochet, so that was fun. And then I'm working it with thread. I've shared that with you before. So I've needed to break up the small hook and the small focusing of the eyes. So I just wanted to make some little projects, you know, for the little free library, or just to have in case somebody comes to visit and I think they'd like it. I don't know. So I found a gummy bear pattern by Cheerios. Life in Cheerios? Cheerio. I will link all of these patterns in the description box below. A gummy bear keychain. I have some little keychains that I'm going to pop on these little gummy bears. I did a purple in the cotton. It was one of those $1.25 when they had $1.25 tree store. When they had those rolls of cotton, those big thick ones. I've recently gone back and noticed that they have very small rolls, and there's 3 in a pack and it's variegated. But at one time they had spools of more like utilitarian cotton, like not the, it was before they did the Premier cotton, so I think that's what did away with that. But there was a lot of yardage on that little spool. I've used that for a long time. So I got a purple gummy bear. I just showed you that. I'm tired. I got a pink gummy bear made with some hot pink, I don't know, just a scrap ball. These don't take very much at all. And I'm going to put the little keychains on the top. And then Sadie's had all her shots last week. So well, she's had that second round of the parvo and all the other good cocktail of shots in there. So now, 1 week later, this Saturday, Sadie will be able to start going for walks, and we can start working and enforcing all that disciplinary stuff we've been working on. So, what is it? It is a roll to keep those little poop bags in. We live in the city. We live in a neighborhood. I can't just open my door and let the dog run free. I gotta clean up after her too, right? Gotta remember to walk her. Gotta carry this bag around till I get to a garbage can. They do have the little bag holders at the dollar store. And some of them even have little flashlights attached to them. Cool. I'm a crocheter. I need to crochet stuff for my puppy. So I found this little pattern on Ravelry. There's actually a few of the free ones. They all look pretty similar. There's some slight differences in the fundamentals, but they all look like wonderful patterns. I grabbed this one. It's a little tight because we haven't pooped. We haven't pooped outside of the house yet. So there we go. It's got this long chain spot, and then this top edge is a single crochet chain, 1 single crochet. So you shove that little edge, and I have a bunch of little clips and carabiners and all kinds of attachments. So we'll attach this to her dog leash. And then I bought a whole bunch of those little puppy bags. These are the biodegradable ones, so I can carry poop around with us for the remaining of our walk. So I did a green and orange, and this one I'm putting in the little free library because I have noticed that when people are walking with their dogs, oh, what are you doing? When people are walking with their, come here. When people are walking with their dogs, they stop and look at the little free library book. So I'm gonna put this in there with a little tag. random acts of crochet kindness. Hey, you found me, take me home. I made one in pink for Sadie's leash, and I made one in pink, and I'm mailing this one to Tap Mama for her bag brigade. Maggie's been going on wonderful little fresh air walks, and I'm gonna send her some bags and a cute little crochet accessory for her leash. So I was working on that. And it's Valentine's Day, so Ravelry has tons of Valentine patterns. And I made this little bag, this little tic-tac-toe bag. It's got a similar make on it. I made those first. This didn't have a closure on the bag. I think they just said chain it all the way through. But I made the closure the same. And it's a tic-tac-toe bag. I guess I got one end left to weave in. She's messing with all kinds of stuff over here. So, tic-tac-toe bag. For the little pieces, I was gonna crochet hearts, but they have erasers at the dollar store. And there's 2 different types of erasers, and they're for little Valentine school gift bags. I was gonna put 2 different types of erasers in here and give this to my niece, Charlie. Maybe I'll teach her how to play tic-tac-toe. My grandma would have loved that. So that is pretty much it on that. This hogged up a whole overnight shift. Oh my goodness. Oh, Steffi Glaves. Miniature micro amigurumi crochet thread. Oh, Steffi. You've got a world I just wish I could just jump into. I'm gonna jump into her world. So I have the other micro crochet book. Who shared this? The Sonnet Silence shared this on her channel, and I'm such a fan. How did I not know that she came out with, she's got more. She's got more, but this is enough to tide me over for quite a while. They are micro, but they don't take micro time. No way. Oh, yes, I did. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, let's see. Oh, okay. Backstory. Amazon delivered this the next day. Thank you, Amazon, for feeding into my crochet addiction. I appreciate it. And when it arrived, I was cooking dinner. Oh, no, dear sweetheart. That's yarn. No, leave it. Sorry. You can play with this. This is not yarn. Ooh. Oh, man. That was one of those major life events that only happens a few times in a young dog's life. We're working on it. So I was cooking dinner when this arrived, and my dear sweet daughter Lily was sitting in the living room waiting for a friend to pick her up, and they were going to go have an adventure. And she was just sitting there waiting. So I ripped open the box and I said, "Here, adorable, wonderful things your mummy would love to make for you, darling. Pick some." She picked 2. Which 2 did my quirky teen pick? She picked a beetroot. I love it. I'm gonna make it. I would never have guessed, which isn't that the point of a teen? I would have never guessed that she'd wanted me to make that for her. And the next one, I've made stuff like this. Maybe not micro and thread, but a star? She tagged the star. Lily, this is a brand new book. Did you look at all of this? Hundreds of things? A star? All right, I'll get my feet wet. What did I pick? Hey, you lost your chew. Hold on one moment, I'll be right back. She needs to get sorted so that we can talk. I'll be right back. Okay, thank you. I sent her one door down the hallway to her big sister Nola's room. She has plushies. So, in the beginning of the book, Steffi Glaves gives tons of advice, some wonderful, wonderful advice. And one bit that she gives is about thread and thread weight and different types of thread that you can use. She mentions one polyester thread that has a slight waxy texture to it, and it's hand quilting, top stitch hand quilting thread. Very quickly I was back on Amazon. Hey buddies, how quick can you get me some of this? And it was too hard to tell. It was too hard to see. It was too hard to, the colors were minimal. Oh man. So Hobby Lobby is down the street from me. I've never had a Joann's anywhere near me in the last 4 years that we've lived here, 3-4 years we've lived here. So Hobby Lobby is pretty much it. We have a Michael's, which has always been like a disaster zone. You might have to explore Michael's. But Soology has a polyester top stitch thread that she recommends. It's only 99 cents a spool. So yes, I will play with it for 99 cents a spool. So we might be taking a trip to Hobby Lobby. I have there's also a type of German thread, a Gutermann thread, and I looked up the specifics on mine. I've ordered a case full of different colors quite a while ago when Steffi first advised me in the first book. And I noticed it's 0.25 millimeters thin. And it is 100% polyester. So the kit that I bought, because sometimes when you buy a set of colors, isn't exactly the quality, the texture, the thickness that she recommends in the books. But it does say top stitch on it. So for quilting purposes, which I know nothing about, I guess the color variation was put together for top stitched hand quilting people. I'm gonna crochet with it, and of course I've got all my hooks. This book has an amazing chart right inside where she breaks down the different steel hooks, and she even gives suggestions for magnifying glasses that she uses and stuff like that. Amazing book. She really is trying to include everyone on these. What? Yes, I marked those. I'm making a mini cafe. I'm making my own little world, Steffi. Thank you for helping me. Fascinating breakdown. So, I mean, I look at something like this and I think as a crocheter, bottom up, top down, a three-dimensional item. Am I building it in the rounds? Am I joining every other, my mind just goes crazy with construction. She works it in a flat panel, an origami style flat pattern. Then she shows you where she's folding it and tucking it in, and then the seams on it. Oh, knit style. Exactly, like those socks that you see in the knitting magazines where they have you work it in a flat panel and then it dips down where the toe is and it gets bigger and comes out, and then you've got like this weird long cuff piece, and then you fold it around, sew it up, and it's a sock. I'm gonna fold it up and have a cafe. I'm gonna serve hot coffee and cafe. We're out of milk, so I'm gonna need a cafe. Steffi just has a total imagination. I mean, little cars. I need little cars. And she does it the same theory as the little cafe. She's working it up like a knitted stocking, little knitted sock. You're working it flat and flat and flat, and then she shows you how to fold it over and stitch it around. You end up with a car. Oh, if only in real life, right? 3D printing. I'm sure that's a concept. Well, no, because 3D printing, you aren't folding it and stitching it, but I don't know, people. Squirrel. Isn't it cute? I marked the chicken. I need to make a chicken. And we have aliens and a crude rocket. We'll not be making the rocket, but this little alien looks like those little wind-up toys that I ordered off of, was it Temu? I think Temu. I ordered those little wound-up. Very, very cute little basic if you wanted to learn. These eyes, she says where to get those eyes, and they're not safety eyes. They're little tiny agate beads. She says they're agate because when they're working the stone mulling, when they're working the agate stone, it is easier for them to make, they're drilling and sanding, and you get more of a uniform, when it's that small, you get more of a uniform hole through the middle and a roundness compared to a seed bead where they're actually taking material and forming the circle. She says with those little tiny agate black beads, you get a very uniform sizing, and then that helps when you're trying to stitch them on. And then when you get them on, you have like two focused eyes. You don't have seed bead wandering eyes. Excellent advice, Steffi. Excellent advice. Then in the very back of this book, there's a section called Crochet Techniques. This is what I absolutely love about our hobby. You never know it all. And there's always new concepts evolving, right? Food for thought. She mentions in the back of this book, she's got this section, and it's called Yarning Under versus Yarning Over. Do you always yarn over? Do you always yarn under? Do you use one style when appropriate and another when it's appropriater? I've seen this discussed many, many times. I'd like to know your idea on it. I always yarn over. To my eye, I don't really notice that big of a difference. It doesn't, my detail work doesn't pop anymore, or it's not a smoother amigurumi shape, or I'm left-handed. I do everything different. But it really feels like an itch or a, ooh, to have to yarn under takes such a mental concentration to do that every single time. And then all of a sudden I'll notice I'm yarning over anyway, and then I've got discrepancies in my row. It's just so unnatural to me. I'll give it a try. She doesn't say you have to one way or another. Her patterns are written for either or. And she does give, she gives a picture of the difference. I see a difference in this picture. I don't necessarily look at something that was yarned under and go, wow, you are beautiful. You are worth the mental struggle it would take me to do this. But what about you? Maybe I should. I'll give it a try. I mean, Steffi. We'll see. But what do you do? Do you always yarn over? Do you always yarn under? Are you one of those appropriate crocheters that does what the designer intended and instructed? Thank you for visiting with me. I hope to see you again real soon. I'll be wide and awake. Tomorrow is Friday, the last Friday of the month. And I have the Fiber Rewind introduction. It's very, very short, just to say hi and tell you what's going about. And then the last Friday in February, we start with the 1900s to 1920. I'm so excited. I want to show you guys what I've made, the books, the patterns. I have some old tools.